Welcome once again to Codeweaver Plays Games. We're going to get straight on into Outer Wilds, Echoes of the Eye. And as you can hear, my audio seems to be functioning. So, fun story. I did a big marathon session on Sunday, created 13 hours of video in one big long stretch. Yeah, 13, crazy, huh? Turns out YouTube can only accept 12 hours or less. What that means for me is I'm going to have to split the video manually, so that's a lot of fun. I'm going to have to see if there's a way for me to do that in a sensible way. I don't want to split it down into 15-minute segments, that's bonkers, but yeah, like 4, 4, and 5, or something like that would probably work out well. We'll have to, boy, that's gonna be a painful download, but we'll figure that out. In any case, I am back here. Hi, you can see me on the cam. I'm not going to probably do this every time because it's a pain in the butt to get all looking pretty, at least pretty enough for this. What I am going to do, though, is get straight on into the game. And when last we were in the game, we were attempting to... Oh, I should probably say ahead of time, big spoiler alert. Honestly, this game is so wonderful, and it's so based on how much knowledge that you gain over the course of the play. It is totally a deadly thing for spoilers if you watch this stream. So if right now you have an intention to play it, or you want to take a look at a few minutes of it and then go play it, do whatever you can to get yourself off to playing the game yourself and then come back and watch this. That's the best I can do for you, because I don't want to spoil this for anybody, not a single iota of it. There's too much of it that is spoiled by merely even watching a half hour of the thing. So right. When last since I've done the spoiler thing, let's get right back into Echoes of the Eye, which shouldn't spoil the main game all that much, but it's certainly going to, spoil bits of Echoes of the Eye. I was attempting to get into one of the temple's areas. One of the temple's back areas, which unfortunately has a lot of bad guys in it. And I did quite a late night... you know what? I forgot to set it up as a target of... The place I'm going as a target of my map. Ugh, so many things to sort out. I have to go look at my log to sort this out, because I have to set this as my target, because it's unfortunately... Come on, back out, please. Thank you. It is unfortunately cloaked, and so I can't get there unless it's marked. So I had to go to all the trouble of adding... I mean, you could always target things like this and go to them in the game, even in the original game, but you never needed it in the original. It's super important for this one specific target, so... Since I already know where it is, I can go there. Where was I? Trying to break into one of the temples, guarded by some of the aliens of the Stranger, who I've just also called Strangers, because they don't have a formal name for them yet. We may never. Problem is, it's being marked by the mental constructs of their downloaded minds. And where that puts me is I have to be super sneaky about getting in there. They're not dangerous as such. It doesn't seem like they want to kill me, but they're spooky as heck. They definitely don't want me in there at all. But I need to get in there because I need some information about how to break one of their... I almost call it political prisoners, but it's not really. It's more like a scientist they don't like because... something he discovered may have caused the end of their species in some sense, or at least they blame him for that. Blame them, I don't know if it's he or she, whatever. So I don't have a lot of time this evening. I had a long day that was unproductive at work, which made me not happy. And then I kinda... What am I going to have to do here to make this work? Hang on. I might have to stop here. I don't remember. I have to Should I have to do it all from here, I think. Yeah, because I can't wait for the collapse of, wrong way, over this way. I can't wait for the collapse of the tower. So many things. You know what? Go back and see the previous stream, because at least one of my previous streams, the most recent one, did manage to get uploaded to YouTube. It's only the 13-hour one that failed, and I will solve that somehow. So I don't want to lose that footage. We'll have to reorganize it on YouTube when I get there. There's no way for me to pick up all of the threads and discuss everything that I did in order to get to this point. So if you've been following along, or you know how this game plays out, then you know what I'm going to attempt to do here. Anyway, yeah. Dealing with little bits of bureaucracy and unfortunate events today, which I'm not going to go into, but it has made me somewhat unhappy. Ugh. Alright. So, in order to get to where I'm going, which is down there, I have to disable those lights, right. The advantage to doing it this way is once I set off the alarm bells and everybody comes out to look for me, if I get caught, it's not a hard run to get back here. In fact, getting caught the first time is no hardship at all, because I do that actually gives me a shortcut all the way back. I may intentionally, in fact, leap into the water to cut it short, so that I bypass. Oh, hello. Anyway, I'm not a happy camper right now. I'm kind of stressed out. But this is just super joyous to me. And I'll just have to kind of unwind and de-stress. But it also means this is going to be a shorter one, probably about 2 hours maximum. I'll have to see how it plays out, but I haven't been getting great sleep. Anyway, so we're going to extinguish all the lights there. And I can't relight anything, so that's a thing. Now what I gotta do... Whoa. Alright, I'm booking it. So I actually made it past the one bad guy back there, and I presume he's still looking for me. The stranger who doesn't want me here. There's no others that are up here specifically. So that's good. Should find another one here. Book it around behind him. Okay, now here's where it gets tricky, because I always get caught here. All right. down here. Go down and right. Run. Run. Nope, I can't run down here, and that's the problem. That's the problem. I can't run down there. I mean, it's not hard for me to get back there now because I actually start effectively here. I don't know what I can do to make that easier for myself to get there. The best I could do is hang this direction. And it'll take me almost no time to get down there. I do have to pass that one guy down below again. Where are you? See if I can just run it. Nope, I've done it bad. Well, that's where he comes down from, so that's good to know. Alright. See, in the other two cases, there were sort of... I don't know if you... In one of them, I did have to legitimately dodge them. So maybe this is another one where I have to legitimately dodge them. One of them, I could use a trick whereby I waited out the lifetime of their temples. But I can't do that here. I just simply don't have the time. I've been all the way to the bottom by running like a crazy fool after they'd expired. But I don't think I really have the time to explore. So I kind of want to sneak past them. I just need to find the pattern that'll do it. I'd like to... Nope. Yes, I get it. I set off the alarm. Let's just double check to make sure. Is my... Yeah, this is still preparing my video for download. That is going to be a long... That is going to be a big download. It's going to be going all night. Titanic video file, which I'll then have to pull into some video editing software and slice it up manually. See, what I wish, kind of wish Stream would do, and I haven't found this facility yet, is to ask it to break it up into segments. Where did I end up going? No, I ended up going the wrong way. I'd like them to break it up into like 4-hour segments instead of... Oh well, live and learn. Hopefully I don't lose the footage. that's not good. That is several kinds of not good. Boy, you cannot run away from him, and he must have crossed. Okay, so that's interesting. He must have crossed the that second bridge just on the other side as I was passing with my light source, so he was able to spot me. So I am gonna have to go down that passage dark. Oh, well, it's kind of what you expect, right? So stressed out, and this is not actually helping the stress outedness. Come on, buddy. Come on, that's right. Try to get down into here with a minimal fuss. See, I can do this bit now fairly fluidly, but it's this next bit that's... Come on, buddy. He's going up there. That was not a good thing to do. It's a very bad thing to do. Oh, right behind me. Right behind me. I don't know how I'm going to get rid of that many of them. I really don't. If I got all the way down there precisely the moment where the bells all sounded. Not where the bells sounded, when the music started playing for the end of the cycle. Maybe I'd have enough time to poke at a few things. Maybe. Can start to do this by timing and almost being in the dark over it, right? that action out. You can do enough of that in the dark. That's the way you do it. I may not have a lot of time, but I'm at least down here having gotten past them all. I do have to be super speedy, though. Of course, it's been taken, but we kind of guessed that that would happen. Alright, Alright, so we've got a couple of things to view here, so let's get on with it real fast. What's past here? Not necessarily anything of importance. So I think I've read this one already, but I'm going to do it again. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. I have to put it up into there. Hang on. Dang it. All right, here we go. They scanned the eye, which then sent out a pulse. It did not like being scanned, which then, this is a vision that if he scans the eye, or he scanned the eye and got the vision showing that it would destroy his people, or that they weren't the chosen ones, and so they burned down the eye. Oh. Okay, maybe, so they scan the eye, and it does this thing, where possibly they get the vision, but then this next bit is super confusing. They burn down the thing for the eye, and then they... Oh god. That might be like the Dark Bramble Seed or something. And then they put themselves into stasis. Oh god, one more time, quickly, because it's not this bit that bothers me. Visions of being destroyed. If they try to approach it. Even though they destroyed their civilization to get to it, they weren't appreciated. But they launched something that's very plant-like at the eye. No, that's fine. Just let me back out. That's strange. That's strange, but I want to see the others before I run out of time. Actually, I don't need to bring that with me. Let's grab that one, please. Super quick. Alright, here we go. Entering into sleep. They go to the other place. Death. Okay, so hang on. I'm not quite sure what happened here. He gets in, and he's about to go into sleep. That's fine. One of their venerable old ones doesn't get to go in because they're dead? No, this allows them to go past death. So this shows... See, I think he's about to be taken in to do his job, to do his sleep going into the alternate world, but he dies before he gets there. But then he arrives there anyway. So he's probably put in there by his friend, or by his colleague or whatever, this venerable aged one. and it saves them from death. But we kind of already knew that it saves them from death because they're all dead down there and I'm still seeing them in here. So, maybe? Okay. Alarm bells. So, hang on. Alarm bells. There's an intruder. It wakes up somebody. Oh, okay. So if the person has a functioning brain, then they'll wake up. But the alarm bell triggering somebody who's brain dead never contacts them. Because that clearly shows what happens. Okay, so that's interesting. So if there's if there's somebody who's alive, they actually get pulled out of the space so that they can view what's going on. But the alarm bells hitting the dead ones never wake them up. So they were expecting to have the alarm go off at some point and maybe wake everyone. But by the time that happened, everyone was dead, so they never got out. But I don't know. So there's a couple things I don't know how quite how this relates yet. And that's going to be water, and that's going to start to become a serious issue. I'm going to do something here. I want to see if there's anything interesting if I drop this on the floor and then go to this far end, because that takes me out of the simulation space. Does that show me anything new here? Not as such. I'm going to try the reverse this time. I'm going to put this out here. See if anything... No, nothing that interesting. See how far away I can get this. No, it's still, like, there's no way for me to get through the door. It's still, like, when it's shut like that, it's still a door. All this knowledge. Okay, so, I mean, I get that them being dead, they wouldn't wake up. But if they're dead, that doesn't mean that they can't be put in. Like, because that venerable character, I think, got inside after they were dead. So, but none of them would wake up. But there were empty chambers in there, right? In a couple of them, at least one, maybe two. There were empty containers, right, for people. Now it could be that they had more containers, more sleep pods, than they had people, and then the empty containers would mean nothing. But it could mean that at some point the alarm went off and a couple of them did get out. There is that. Wow, I don't know what to make of that. I wonder if my ship's log has anything else, like, more intelligible to say on that. I kind of want to... No, hang on. Let me go get the... I'm just going to put this back in the thing. Since I've got a few extra seconds, and I've seen all three of them now, I want to re-review this. I actually don't know if I'm going to get anything more out of this, but... I think this just says dead people can't come back, but if there are alive people, they can. And I know that they don't come back when the alarm goes off to any of them. to any of the temples. So nobody's alive as far as I can tell, at least in the temples, otherwise it would have woken up. But I kind of knew that because of the bones. Alright. So he goes in, and all is well. This one leads like one of their elders who dies early, and they're super despondent and flatlining. Wait a minute, check the artifact. It's not lit. He never holds it over the fire or gets it lit or anything. But I didn't either. I just had to be in the room and sleep. But death is considered a way for them to get in, to cause the sleep action that triggers this effect. So I'm gonna boot it up here again. Just make sure there's nothing else. Wouldn't it be neat to get into some of these other locations though? Right? Like behind the scenes, get some of these other... Anyway. You know what I haven't seen though? See, I don't know if that's meant to represent Dark Bramble, but it's certainly meant to represent trying to capture the eye in some sense. Oh, you know what though? That emergency distress signal could be what summons us. It's like it sent out a why was it displeased though? I gotta think this out again. Because here's the thing. No, let's back up a bit here. So they try to scan the eye. It gets a vision about that either it does not want them to be the chosen ones, or scanning it in the way they have has annoyed the eye, or the reaction is that it annoyed the eye, even if it's not a sentient thing. But they decide that that's enough to warrant burning down their temples, and because they sacrifice their whole civilization to get out here, so they're ticked. But then they fly something out which goes to capture the eye. And then they go into hibernation. You know what? None of this has told me, though. Here's the problem. None of this has told me, like, the other entrances to the temples. None of the rest of these, or none of these have told me where the this set of symbols is hidden away. So let's double check. Well, hang on though, here's the thing. If their brains are dead, and it doesn't pull them out of here, well then the reason why everybody... No, hang on, hold the phone. I guess my question is, why is it that they lose the connection to... No, okay. their spirits are still tied to the fire that has to still be burning in the temple. That's why when the first temple goes away underwater, the light gets snuffed out, and then they vanish. Because they're not getting summoned back. They're their flames are still lit. So, the trick might be that in order to find out where the third set of symbols might be, because one of them was jumping off the skiff, the water skiff, when I was between worlds and getting into an in-between place. 2 was I don't remember what 2 was, but I figured out what one of the others was, and I had to go and test that. I don't remember what it was. That's gonna bump. Oh, yes, it's gonna be that there is a specific spot or something where I can get outside the world. I'll have to review that one as well. But this third one, maybe this third one is that I have to be near death. Okay, I need something. I need a hint. I need a hint from my log because I'm misinterpreting this in some way because I don't know how to get this. I can't extinguish any of these. They're all very clearly dead. Like, they're all corpses, so they're not coming back from the alarms. I kind of need that. Oh, that's fun. I did not have much time left. Let's, that's fine. We're gonna meditate until the next loop. Say to that as well. Damn. So actually, you know that video, that 13-hour video in MP4 format, it actually only boils down to about 9 gigabytes of data pulled. No, 17.9 gigabytes of data pulled down from Twitch. And while that's a flipping enormous file, it's actually only going to take about another 4 minutes for me to because I've already downloaded a big chunk of it. It's only going to take 4 more minutes in order for me to get it off of Twitch. So I will not lose the footage. It's just a colossal pain in my keister that I'm going to have to manually break it up and re-upload it to YouTube. Don't worry, it will survive. I will go and figure that out. And I don't think anybody even checks out my YouTube on a regular basis anyway. But I would like it there for posterity. So no more 13-hour streams, which is a good limitation for several reasons. A long day. Mostly frustrated. Nothing catastrophic happened. Nothing irreversibly catastrophic. Just work not going as well as I wish it would. Oh, right, I was going to check my log. Let's go check the log before I leave out. Because there's going to be new stuff in here. Anyway. Alright. Alright, so Forbidden Archive. Here we go. A library full of intact slides reveals hidden deep underground. There's a container marked with one of the vault seals, but its contents have been destroyed. Come on. I found a slide reel that shows a stranger's inhabitants analyzing the eye of the universe. Intact slides reveal the construction and launch of a spacecraft designed to block the eye's signal. So that's what it was doing. Not so much trapping, but block the signal. Maybe so that no one else would fall prey to it. And in that sense, if that's the interpretation, I actually kind of... They're not trying to destroy it. Maybe they couldn't find a way to. The eye, I mean. But they could have left it alone, and with their knowledge that maybe other races would suffer the same fate, you could interpret that as an act of mercy, although they were, like, to spare other races getting trapped by the eye, although they were really, really angry. I mean, justifiably, they kind of... I mean, they thought the eye was so important and they would be so welcoming that they literally sacrificed their whole civilization to get there, though. So, whose fault is it really, right? Because it's not clear that the eye actually told them anything, because it certainly didn't tell us anything, or the Nomai anything. So, I don't think it communicates in that sense. I think they did it to themselves and got really ticked at themselves, but chose to blame the eye. But if that's the case, they could have just abandoned the eye. Interesting. I don't quite know the motivations here, right? There's several ways to spin that. I found a slide reel that shows two artifacts being lit near a green fire. The first artifact lights after its bearer falls asleep, and the second artifact lights after its bearer dies. Okay, so I kind of came to that conclusion, right? Oh, look at that. My ridiculous 13-hour video is now firmly on my laptop. So the footage has not been lost. I can sort that out later. Okay. I found a slide reel that appears to be some sort of error report. It shows an alarm bell failing to wake up one of the stranger's inhabitants. Well, it failed to wake up all of the stranger's inhabitants at this point. So the question is it important that there was a specific one of the strangers that didn't wake up? Or is this an indication that the reason why they're all still there is because regardless of the alarm bells going off, they were already dead? So maybe they could know that they're dead. We don't get any communication from them one way or the other, right? They may or may not know they're dead, and they can't tell us because we just don't speak the same language. But they certainly can't get back. It does explain why we can get back, though, because we're alive. Okay. Okay. Of the ways that... Okay, so that's the secret locations, but... This is just a hidden slide reel marked with a blank symbol headed by a shadowy figure. The lights are extinguished. The figure carries a container into a secret passage behind the mural of a large tree. Well, we already went through that. That's how we got to some of these. But here's the thing. This Forbidden Archive shows one of the strangers inhabitants jumping off a raft during a transition, right? This one shows an error report. It shows an alarm bell. Oh no, sorry, that's the one I just did. It's this one that's the other corresponding one. Hang on. This one says, I found a slide reel. It appears to be some sort of error report. It shows that one of the strangers inhabitants dropping their artifact on the ground and walking beyond its projection radius. Now, maybe that doesn't get us to a specific location. Maybe that's just to let us in on the trick. This gets us to a specific location, though. And it's the only one that does. Or at least the only one that explicitly does. So I'm going to go in here. Because that's the next thing. But I want to be able to spend as long as I can in that area. So I'm going to have to go and do this by way of my favorite destination, the Gorge area. Because that's the area that gets destroyed, darn it. That's the area that gets destroyed by the tidal wave from the collapsing dam last. In fact, it never gets destroyed by the tidal wave. Because it's well above the water line, and none of the buildings, it's not in the building, it's destroyed by the tidal wave. But I mean, it'll let me last the whole 22 minutes. Or, well, I guess probably 15 minutes of... Alright, come on. We have to book it. However, we don't need to get out of, as far as I know, I don't need to make landfall from, that's not the way I want to go, that is not the way I want to go, darn it. Alright. Drop right back down. We don't have to make landfall anywhere in particular or more on the river route, because we're planning on jumping out midway anyway. Which means I don't have to like stop off here and unlock any doors. Just checking to see that I had video editor software on my laptop I could use to break that thing apart, and I do, I believe. All right. Here we go. Come on, drop it. Need that. Having a moment. Don't know if that alarm thing is necessarily specifically helpful, but I am kind of curious. Like, that knowledge has to come into this at some point, doesn't it? I mean, otherwise it's just an interesting data point for me. Okay, but... Oh, I didn't go all the way around and up far enough. Duh. It's been a few minutes since I've been in here, apparently. I'm being thick as a sack of hammers. Guess I don't know what phrases I mangled to get there, but deal. Okay, so here we go. how does that thing about death help me? I mean, I guess it means that if I'm in there... Oh, if I'm in there and my body gets wiped out, but my mind is in VR, and the VR area has, like, the VR containers, or at least one of the VR containers, has gone outside the blast radius, my body will die, but I will survive. And so will all of them. And off. Alright. Now I can drop the artifact somewhere, so what I'm going to do... First thing I'm going to do as a test is I'm going to put down the artifact. And I'm going to come way the heck over here to see if anything interesting lights up while I'm in here. So there's the sim zone. So this is a trick that I might need to know for any number of different reasons. I can actually go all the way around this thing. Does that do me any good? I don't know. But actually, this is interesting because it also enables me to see the border of the regions, right? One of these, if these are all regions that I've been to before, hey, check that out. I definitely want to go over there. If these are all the regions I got to before by coming sort of down each of the temples, then one of these should have a ramp on the outside that enabled me to walk on it because it was one of the test things to discover. And I think it might be on the other side of this one, but I'm going to walk all... This is kind of a waste of time, in a sense, but I'm going to walk all the way around this and see if I'm right. Because I think these are platforms I've been on before when I came down through the... that might have been actually the one I was just in, now that I come to think of it. I can always come back here again, so I want to, like, study the outside of these things before I make any permanent moves. So this may take me a little bit of time. Just a moment, checking out... Yeah, getting my video editor software to try to open up that massive video file. And it's fine. It's fine. Yes, I know. Super slow and tedious. I get that. It might have been that one, actually, because I seem to recall going up off of one platform up to an edge and then up to another edge. Like it was a two-bridge thing. It might be that one, but I'm not absolutely 100% sure. check that out. Those are very glowy platforms going on there. But not the ramps I was looking for, not as such. And I fell right off into the drink. That was not terribly bright. Do we potentially have enough time? We don't have a lot of time because that wave is gonna cause the tower to tip over. Which I'm gonna know about pretty darn quickly now. At which point I'll only have a few minutes before it collapses completely again. Could the lack of waking up? Yeah, the lack of waking up on death has to be an indication that I may have an alternative way out of here, and even if I don't, one of the strangers does. And I'm being guided, at least somewhat, by the scientist who they didn't kill him. I can't quite tell what they did. They trapped him inside of a sealed vessel. But that sealed vessel is in the real world, and frankly, the only way he could have survived is if that sealed vessel... Oh, I gotta jump off here. Wait, right here. No! Too early. Darn it. Darn it, darn it, darn it. And I don't want to do that. Alright. Goes off. That was just plain dumb. I'm not gonna have enough time. Try that again, this time with less stupid. I wonder why the scientist guy, okay, so the scientist guy turned priest, because I think it's the same guy, effectively. Not necessarily priest, but a leader, whatever. He was clearly at least partially responsible for the destruction of the temples to the eye. And I keep calling these storage chambers that I'm going into, like up there with the paintings, temples. They're kind of temples, but they're a little bit more like... all right, here we go. Okay, I'm going to have to put this down in order to be able to get far enough away to be able to figure out what I'm heading for. I think I'm headed for that one. Maybe. Because if I go down here, it's the one place that I can reach without, like, getting into a problem. So if I... okay. I don't know what that did. And now I can't get over there. And I snuffed myself out. Curiouser and curiouser. Wish I could do a rocket pack jump for most of this, but that's why they take it away from you. Okay. It's not clear to me why blowing out one of those candles is relevant, because I didn't get close enough to actually see what would matter. Okay, I'm gonna have to... I gotta be way more careful. I probably won't make it back there, actually. There's a very good chance that the tower is gonna tip over finally, fairly soon now. But let's see what I can get to. Light goes out. Hop down. Now, do I have similar things that I can do with all of these? Maybe. Because if I come in here from this side and drop down, am I not just effectively so I can come down here, but it didn't actually help me here. If I tuck that away over here, can I get far enough away up here? I can actually go back up. I don't know if that buys me anything, but I could, in principle. I don't know what this would buy me. Okay, so let me think about this for a minute. This effectively gives me a really efficient way to get into certain of these areas through back doors like this. Yeah, okay, so that's the end of that. That's fine. Does that help me? I suppose it might, if there's a way that I could... Yeah, I'm not sure. That enables me to get... There's no obvious way that I can live longer than being, while being in the virtual space, than going in through that particular entrance. Or by going into the one that's in the underground... the chamber with the thing with the chains, perhaps. Problem is, everything gets wiped out eventually by the 22-minute cycle. I don't think there's a way for me to dodge that. The only question is there a way that I could die earlier? No, because all of the ways that I could die earlier while being in that world aren't really death, they just wake me up. Like, the only thing that can really happen... I don't know if there's a way I can exploit that. There might be, though. Come on. Oh, it's gonna be one of those days, apparently. Right. Not sure exactly what I bought myself. I'm super happy with how I'm progressing. Well, maybe not progressing in the game. I temporarily stalled, which is slightly annoying. But I'm super happy with the sort of the order that I did things. I think it's a sort of probably a fairly canonical way to go through this without discovering things too weird accidentally ahead of time. Which is never, like, the nature of the game allows for, I think I said this last time, allows for sort of fairly arbitrary discovery, and then you piece it together backwards, which in a lot of ways can be just as satisfying. And I've seen so many players in the original Outer Wilds take such vastly different tacks in exploration depending on a combination of what suited their fancy and just sort of what they didn't notice until they had to go back and check for it later. Almost all of them got all the way through it and did, didn't miss any things that were potentially missable, because a lot of them were kind of story completionists, a little bit like me. But they did. A lot of them did come at it from various different angles. That being said, though, this does form a nice logical progression, I think. I managed to do here. Seriously, if I don't get somewhere really substantial in another hour, it'll take me to 11. I'm packing this up and I'm falling into bed. I'm gonna watch an episode of Time Team because a friend of mine who's into archaeology and is geneticist by education, does computer programming now. I collect interesting people as friends, apparently. She turned me on to it, and I just adore it. It's a lot of fun. It's not even really my field. I like the mystery. Could be considered fairly dry academia for a lot of people, but. And I'm not much of a history buff, realistically. Don't have a head for it. But that kind of history comes with a lot of science and deductive reasoning, some really smart, educated guesswork, and I love that. Anyway, I don't know why was I saying that. It was something about, I don't know. I guess because in a sense, when I'm doing a space archaeology, I've kind of sold this game in that sense, right? Okay, I'm gonna quickly see if this just falls off, whether or not I can actually get in here in any sensible sense. I don't think so. I really don't think so. Alright, we gotta figure this out in a slightly quicker way. Let's get out of the bubble. I think it's that one that I want to head to. Because that's the one I kind of screwed up when I got there. So it's over here. It's the tree. The tree is a big symbol in these creatures' universes. All right, so that's fine. So that. So let's not screw this up this time by sending the thing away. Let's clamp that down until I'm on board, so I can probably take it back. And when I get up here, oh, this is the that's what I turned off. It was actually unlocking. Yeah, and I can look into this, and what I saw was a projection of this is the message that actually triggered all of this when we went into the tower, and with the 2 lights, yeah, I don't need to see this message again. Okay. I don't have any of these though. All right. So let's get back here, because the one thing that I know I can do is I can go in here and I can say extinguish. Right? Now, does that change any nature of what's over here once I'm over here? Maybe? I turned this off. I didn't even need to fiddle with this combination lock? Isn't that curious? Okay. Let's try to open this now and see if he gives me any additional messages. Yeah, I don't think so. I'm gonna assume no. If I ascend from here, I'll end up in the temple that I can otherwise get to by going to the underwater chamber. This is really weird. Okay. Oh, there's the other one. Oh, hello. How do I get over there? And there's the third one. Okay, okay. So see, I bet if somehow I can get over there, I can use the same trick to maybe take that one out. What's this? Oh. Here's an interesting thought. What if I drop this off? Well, that's a good idea, but that doesn't help me not get spotted. Oh, but check this out. What is that? The reason I can't get past this is because of something... Okay. Is because of something in the sky. Okay, okay. See, this is how I solve this one. I do not have a lot of time. Okay, hang on. Is this something that... That's a problem. Because now I can't get back over even if I want to. Okay. Yeah, right. New rules. This should now be... Here goes. Right. And then I can do this. But then I have the problem that what the heck is up there anyway? What would enable me to get back there? I would not get woken up if my brain were... if I were dead. I know how to do it. Oh, that's elegant. I mean, except that I have to die. So, that's how I get past that, because the problem is when I set off those alarm bells... Oh, that's just beautiful. When I set off those alarm bells, it wakes me up because I'm still alive and I'm in the chamber sleeping, right? But if I am dead in that chamber, then the alarm bells going off won't wake me up and bring me back there. But the question is, how do I die while I'm in there? And the thing is, I could die while I'm in there. Maybe if I'm in the tower and underwater... But you see, I also die. I also die, I also wake up if the light goes out while I'm in there. So I have to die in there while there's no water snuffing out the temple fire. The only way I know that I can die while I'm there, and I have to have been in my spacesuit in order to be able to get there at all, I think. Because I don't think this place has... oxygen in the traditional sense. Maybe it does. Maybe all these areas have oxygen. But my point is maybe one of the ways I could die while I'm in there and not get woken up is if I run out of oxygen while I'm in there. Because I'm not going to be able to get across that otherwise. Right, so... I might be able to test this here. Alright, let me... No, I've been in here forever. Here's the thing. I've been in here forever. Oh, wow. And my oxygen supply hasn't run down. So it doesn't matter if my fuel runs out. The fact of the matter is there's air in here. There's air that I can breathe in here. Everywhere in here. I have to get here without my spacesuit. And not here either. I have to get to... maybe the middle tower without my spacesuit. Because I have to actually drown in order to get past that, in order for the alarm bells not to wake me up. I think. Because look, I've literally been in here 20 minutes, my oxygen hasn't budged a beat. Alright, meditate until the next loop. We have a plan. This is a scary plan because it means that I have to do all of this like without the advantage of rocket packs. And it didn't even occur to me to wander around this place without my suit on. But I can't take my suit off anywhere but inside my spaceship as far as I know. I'm gonna have less time. Alright. So that brain does occasionally chug forward. Near miss by the probe, that's always fun. I don't even technically need to put it on right here, I don't think. Because I'm going to get myself up into the air, and then I'm going to set autopilot, and it'll take me there. The only way this works is if I die in the real world. Here's a test. Okay, maybe I can't do that. Although it'd be really interesting to keep trying. There's an alternative, actually. I might be able to, if I could... Pre-flight checklist. Oh, yeah, okay, that's pretty cool. That's a better way of explaining that, actually. Son of a bitch. gonna try something sketchy here. Okay, so I've got to go out and immediately through. Here we go. Okay, so I got in there as fast as it was feasible to do so. The only other way I might be able to get in without my spacesuit would be through the airlock door. The breach. Yeah, okay. It'd be in the breach. It would be in the breach. On the outside of the building. But I would have... No, there's no way that's going to happen because I had to open up the door that led me in there. Using light on the door. I just don't have enough time. Like, I have 5 seconds at most. That's not enough to get through that breach. I could get through the breach, but I couldn't open the door in that kind of time. I have to be dead early. The only other way I know to get in here is in the chamber on the opposite side of this, which is just as hard to get through in a timely fashion. Or through that back entrance over there, and that requires the elevator. Let's do an experiment. It's on this side. If I flew my ship in here, I couldn't make it to the back here before suffocating. So even if that does get me topside where there's oxygen fast enough. See, the funny thing is I am using O2 here. But the minute I'm out here, I'm not. So running out of oxygen isn't necessarily the way to do that. And being underwater won't do that. I don't think I can get going fast enough with rocket power to cause myself damage in those little rooms. I'll get woken up before I die. See, the other entrance is here. Yeah, and in here, see, that doesn't really help me either, because in here, I have no oxygen either. quick trip out the airlock here. If I recall, the breach is effectively the far end here. That's not good. But there it is, right? I don't have a lot of fuel, and I certainly don't have a lot of health, but if I did get in here, there's air the instant I set in here. I could get in here without my suit. Check this out. There's oxygen all the way out into here. And then it's only once I get out here that it's a problem. So if I'm super careful, I could actually get in here without my suit. And isn't that intriguing? All right. All right. I do not have a lot of time. I have about 20 minutes to test this hypothesis. If this is successful and I get in there without my suit, I have a way to die while I'm in there. Now I'm going to have to be in my spacesuit long enough to open the door because I want the door already open and bleeding oxygen into that room when I'm ready to do the move. This is bananas. I mean, maybe I'm interpreting it all wrong, but I think that's the only way to cross that gap is for the alarm not to bug me, because I don't think I can turn the light off that's above the bridge. Okay, so I actually don't want to go there. Where I actually want to go is that pylon right there. Might be good enough, because when I drop out of here, okay, so how far off did I end up being? Okay, so yeah, all right, so that's not going to be good enough. Tricky, but if I can come right down on top of that with the camera. this seems a little bit crazy. You know what I mean? Because I can't imagine, actually, and I'm having trouble because I think there's a gravity thing. Because if I come out of it and I end up there, I'm dead. That might do it. Nope. Nope, that did not do it. I mean, it'd be cool to wander around there without my spacesuit, because that's a challenge just sort of in and of itself anyway, but... I angle it just a bit better. No, see, yeah, that's the thing, right? And then I would have to, and then I have no way to get up and into this thing. Yeah, this is not going to work. I'm going to try it once anyway, but... Nope. No, maybe I could jump fast enough, maybe. Maybe I'm just totally not right in my suppositions here. Maybe that's a potential thing. There's really no way for me to take off my suit or intentionally sort of kill myself in that sense. Yeah, because I can't get through that doorway any faster. I just can't. Oh, that's potential. Nope, nope. I'm always going to be off that lip because it spews me out. It's so close. I just can't, the big thing is I just can't imagine. This can't be the right way to do it. It just can't. This is. Now you see, I can't even, here's the problem. I can just barely jump over that lip. Then barely jump over that lip, and then here. Okay, so let's see how close we can get this. Neither one of those lips is easy to jump across. So even if this is... Yeah, I would have to have the ship drop me right into that thing. I am totally not doing this in a sensible way. That might do it. It got twisted slightly off to the side when I accidentally reoriented the ship on standing up. That's possibly doable. That is possibly doable. All right, let's try this bit of stupid. I doubt it'll work, but oh, got turned around. Got turned around. Yeah. There might actually be like some sort of crazy, no, that can't be it, because that requires too much sort of fettling with the ship. And the game has never really been about that. Like, landing on the sun station is cool and all, but there was always a sensible way to get through that. Nobody got any great ideas? Because I don't. Kind of still want to keep trying it, though. Because boy howdy would it ever be a feather in my cap if I could pull it off. Okay, can't do it with that orientation. Maybe I can... No. No. I slipped. Come on. We're gonna see if maybe if I orient it so that I'm on my head. That's hard because the ship definitely wants to reorient itself. Right? What I want to do, I want to kind of nose into this. It's totally not the right way to do this. Really? All right. All right, if I have to stay that way up. No, come on, come on. That is as straight across as it's ever going to get. But it's not enough, because when I come popping out of there, I still have to make that jump and then that jump in order to get in. Alright, well, that's fine. Let's at least open the door and get the oxygen flowing. Yeah, the minute I drop out of there, I gotta drop from like a higher height in order to be able to pull that off. Oh, well, this is realistically as good as it's ever going to get. And so, I think my hypothesis is simply wrong. If I drop from this side, what happens? Maybe? Let's try that again. Okay, so what I gotta do is I gotta walk like right off of here. No, you know, I not only have to get in here, I have to get all the way across to the other side of the door. So the only way I'm doing this is if I had some really insanely good ability to launch myself all the way through this and all the way through the door in a matter of seconds. Well, I can tell you right off the bat that is not happening. All right, I'm going to probably, after a few minutes speculation here, call it a night. So, we got to a point where we're in the lower chamber and we've learned a bunch of skills, and those skills help us figure out how to get through the puzzles. Knowing the individual symbology of the puzzles isn't the point. Because I certainly can't get the one in the middle, because I turn off the lock from a distance and then everything goes black and then I can't turn it on again. I can get the symbol for the third one. All right, one more thing then. Let's check the don't think it gave me any additional clues here. No, it did not. There was this, but open a container marked with a burning slide rail and found a vertical sequence of symbols inside. So yeah, so that got me into that one. I don't think each of the three things would have their own, or would have the same key. So even if I got the key for the left-hand one, that I got indirectly by looking at the thing in outside of the rendering space. Even if I took that code, I don't think it would apply to the other two, although I technically haven't tested that. But I think the reason why I got shown the three things was one, I had to get shown how to get into the intermediate space to be able to get to that island. Or get to the place where I could blow out the middle one. That was the use of the first Forbidden Archive. The second Forbidden Archive was enabling me to get outside of the visual space, which I technically didn't need for getting down into the in-between space. It enabled me to get outside the rendering volume, which means that I could do unlock the first lock. And I think the Forbidden Archive for the death thing has to be the way you get past the alarm, because that's why it was telling me how to get past the alarm. It was saying that the alarm doesn't matter if it can't wake you up. It has to be the reason. The only thing that I don't know is how to die while in the room. I don't know. I don't know. Something I'm going to have to sit on. And I'm sure that any of you who might be watching us long down the road are going to be screaming at me, you didn't think of the this, that, or the other. I will. I will get there. But it's been 2 hours, and it's a work night, and I've been up late lots and lots. So it has been absolutely delightful with all of you, and I want to do this again. And I will. I will probably not be able to do it every night, but I mean, the way things are going, maybe I'll end up doing it every night. Probably not tomorrow night. I've got other obligations. At least on the weekend. We are solving this on the weekend one way or the other. It has been absolutely lovely. Thank you all for joining me. For whoever sees, I don't think anybody showed up on my main stream, but for any one of you who shows up on my YouTube channel and catches this, that's fantastic. And I hope to see all of you in my next stream. It's Codeweaver Plays Games. Bye bye.